All right. So breathing and grounding. And I'd like you to find a way to sit where your spine is aligned. And a very nice way to do that is put your fist down on your chair and push up and just kind of stretch up a little bit and settle back against your chair. Yeah. And then roll your shoulders a little up, a little over, a little back. Ah, beautiful. So with your breath, allow yourself to spiral down into your heart. Come and sit in the sanctuary of your heart and activate your self-love. Maybe even saying to yourself, I love you. To your inner kids, one hand below the navel, one on your heart. I love you. You're precious to me. And as you breathe, imagine you can open your crown and call in universal love. Love from the heart of the one being. And my favorite prayer, Divine Mother, Creatrix of all, take me into the great womb of your heart and recreate me in thy image. Great Mother Goddess, Divine Mother, take me in to the vast sacred womb of your heart and recreate me in thy image. Fully aware of my divinity and my oneness with all beings. Breathe that in. Arriving in the heart of now, the heart of the Creatrix herself. To allow her love to dissolve, absorb whatever is less than love and light in you, and fill you with her love and her light. Just like in an actual womb, the mother's umbilicus, or cord, absorbs the toxins, processes them for the little one, and feeds nutrients. And if you're feeling that love and you wish to send it out to anyone you care about, just imagine it radiating out from your heart, like the scent of a flower fills the air around. We're sending it into whatever you're creating in your world. And then breathing in, filling up universal love. Slowly bringing yourself back to the circle, blessing yourself. Use your anchor if you wish. Once you're in Great Mother's heart and the womb that our heart makes. It's hard to leave, eh? Feels so good. So we're going to share the Bija mantras. So it's still a very meditative place. This is part of the care and keeping of the chakra system. The Bija mantras are seed syllables for each of the chakras. Starting with the first chakra, Lam. It's up on the screen share. Vam, you really pronounce the first letter. Ram, Yam, the heart. Ham, the throat. Om, the third eye, into And you look up through the third eye into your being. You open your connection to source. Okay? So you can listen first if you wish, and then join in, or join in if you know them. So full breath in and out first. Full breath in. Lam I like to touch each chakra as I come up. It just helps to energize them. You can do it all in one breath. I usually do, but if you need a breath, you take it. Okay, so full breath in. Lam Vam Ram Yam Full breath. Lam Vam Yam And once more. And if you need a different note, do it at a different note, different tone. Lam Vam Ram Yam Notice how that feels. Ah, there she is. So, do you feel more here? So, let's check in. Let me find my little timer. All right, who would like to go first? Sharing what's alive for you, wins, challenges, whatever you'd like us to know. Marina?
Thank you. I'm dying to share. share. We had the meeting yesterday, and I have never in my life felt so empowered. Oh my gosh. It was just crazy because um, basically what I found out, this owner is like a bigwig in Istanbul, politically connected to the government, head of a national TV station, etc., etc. But he was so relatable, and thank you for all the practices and everything you all shared with me because it was so powerful. And I really felt him. His name, I know now, is Naim. But in the end, I had this flash of insight, like call the lawyer that I met and ask him to come along with me and Amira, my friend. And so the three of us, I wanted to invite him here, but the realtors were like, no, they don't go. We have to go to where he is, which was like a crazy shopping center cafe, which I didn't like, but that's okay. Um, but it was just such an like I could feel that if I had the money, he would even lower the price right now and just give it to us. Just like it was such a powerful because he said, yeah, I have other people like Arabs or Russians, but I'm not sure I want to give it to them because like I think it was Karen who mentioned like he knows it's a special piece of land and he's got his heart in it and he built the house and it just feels like wow. So at first we all like laid out the different options and he was like, oh yeah. But as a businessman, he said, well, if he wanted to rent it to someone, he could make a lot more money just like renting it for 2 million liras for the whole summer. And in the meantime, find an investor and sell it himself. So it's like to him. And then in the end, he actually called our lawyer and said he's only interested in selling. So which again is a great clarity because it's like now I know that's all I need is the money. So it's just like it was amazing. Thank you so much for all your support. I have like really I've never felt this empowered in my life. So it was amazing. Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be part of the circle. I cannot tell you.
Yay. You want some loving?
Absolutely, I'll take all of it. Thank you.
I wish we had
Ah,
noise because we could.
oh,
So fantastic. Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mm.
Mm.
Hmm. And who's next? Breaking on an event. Okay.
Well, this week was intense, to say the least. But the good news is it's over. But the bad news is there's still work to do, which is okay. It's empowering to know. And now I understand why I really felt like I wanted to take a vow of silence.
Mm.
Evalina, you can understand what I'm saying with this.
Mhm.
And that lifted. My heart is open for the book. It feels like that story needs to come out, not in a judgmental way, but in a loving way to help people understand that we choose the experiences in our life, even though they look so unfair. It's all about the program that we choose for the school earth. So yeah, keep going and I'm gonna focus on what's next. So yeah, this is it. It's a good win. It's a big win.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what the book is about?
The book is gonna be about my journey being born in a cult of voodoo and my journey to get out of it and how love conquered it. And I'm out and I'm me, I'm connected to the light.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So powerful. Would you like some loving?
Yes, please.
Ah, big win. Mm.
Guys.
Yay. Beautiful. And who's next?
I can go. Gosh, it's exciting hearing about so excited about your house, Marina. I think part of it is because it's so tangible, whereas I feel like this project I'm doing is not tangible. It kind of is, it's birthing, and I'm making something very new out of an old form, and it's quite, it's more of a process and a creation, you know, rather than a concrete house or a book or something, which are kind of, so it's evolving, and I'm going to get some support from a friend who's a parenting expert, just to talk things over with her about how to put it out more than anything else, rather than content. So that I'm looking forward to that this week. And I just had a fantastic astrology reading with my astrologer this morning, and she is just so inspiring. I just love her. I just found her here in England when I got here. And she's so soul level and so multidimensional and fantastic. I just love seeing her. So I'm feeling very inspired and just like, I don't know, like about my life, and looking at all the shifts that are happening and what's going on in this relationship I've been having with this lover that I have, that's kind of been driving me crazy, but has also been really helping me to work a lot on myself, and evolve in that. So she's helped me a lot with that too, because I struggle with that. Yeah, so just feeling pretty good right now, and glad to be here.
Great. You want some loving?
Yes. Thank you. Ah, thank you. Okay. Thanks. I just have to turn my heater off, but I am listening.
Great. Oops, started it too soon. Who's next?
I will.
Kaya?
Evelina, I love the sentence that you gave us, what you're bringing into your world. I love that. And it also rings so true for me in terms of the creative process, because I'm an Enneagram 4 among other types, which is about the creator. So after going through a catharsis of relocating to Ashland and the pandemic, I'm coming out of my cocoon and ideas are rolling in. I'm very grateful for my guides. The first one that came to me was Ladies for Lunch, which is monthly or every other month gathering for women to build kinship connection, and to abate just an underlying individuality and sense of loneliness that I think is pervasive in our culture. And I want that to be more than women just coming to eat lunch together, but have those be manifesting in intention circles. So I'm excited about that. And then I shared last week, business blessings, how wonderful. Doing those in the women's networking group as a gift to entrepreneurial women. And then that branching out to one-to-one sessions specifically that they can do on a mentoring basis with me for their business. And then a really a gorgeous one came in this past weekend. I taught Reiki to a very, very dear friend of mine, and I was introduced to Reiki in 1989. And it's been such an extraordinary gift to share with others. So I've been teaching since then, but there was a long-term gap where I was not teaching Reiki. And I used to say to my students, I will teach Reiki till I'm 102, and that time was drifting away. And I just stepped back into it like a homing device. And my guide said, offer Reiki as a pay it forward scholarship. So in other words, offer it on a scholarship basis, and then people must, in receiving that, do something good for someone else. And I'm really thrilled about that.
Beautiful. Nice. Want some loving?
Thank you. now I have to design curriculums for all of these things.
That's right.
That's my challenge. It's like, oh, they're bright ideas, and now I have to design them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Hmm.
you.
In some ways, that I think designing the curriculum is the fun part of teaching for me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like, and then I do it, and I love it.
Yeah. I just haven't done it in a while, Evelina.
Yeah.
It might be a little rusty, so I'm looking forward to getting in that groove again.
That's the way I felt about this last weekend.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Who's next?
I can go. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Well, I texted Evelyn shortly before things started today to tell her that I wasn't sure. And I might start crying again, but I just the physical stuff has been, I had a pretty major dental surgery last week. I think I had shared that with y'all. It was a tooth extraction and an implant, and my sinuses have gotten kind of infected out of that. So just physically haven't felt great. As my dog's trying to console me. And then yesterday we talked to our daughter about separating, and it actually went pretty well, but I just have been so like cracked open the last 24 hours. My dog is trying to console me here.
A little familiar.
I just can't. Just every time I'm getting hit by these big waves of emotion, and I'm just letting them come through. But I feel like kind of a hot mess, and I know it's all for the good, and that so much energy is being freed up for other things. But it's just a lot of unraveling, and a lot of grieving.
Yeah.
So, so like I said, I'm trying to just let it happen, but it's not making me very productive right now. Well, I mean, it is. This is productive and it needs to be, but.
Just gotta thinking productive on the emotional level, not so much in the world. Yeah. And even if you're a hot mess, I want you here. I don't care if you cry half the time. Yeah. This is
The odds for that.
your support circle. You know, and everyone here is in transition. Yours happens to be one with a lot of grief at the moment.
Yeah, and I know that that's not the whole story, and that it's just a part of it. But
Would you like some loving?
yes.
Breathing it in.
Thank you.
An angel just came in right behind you. Glad you're here.
Me
So
too.
Dara, yeah. Dara, are you willing to check in?
Yeah, I will. Hi. Let's see.
Hi. Um, hmm, well, oh my goodness. I've been feeling like there's two parts of me. One has been feeling happy, engaged, present. And the other part of me just feels like, I don't know, I think hot mess is a good descriptor. Um, I think I'm having hot flashes. I think like they're beginning. And Sunday was the 3-year anniversary of bringing home my kitty who passed in November. And that brought up a lot. I also have been realizing that I need more support around healing from my relationship with a narcissist. And yeah, I've been like working with a few clients and taking these writing classes, and I've been feeling really full and busy, and at the same time just like tired and underslept and under-resourced, and just praying, like at this point I'm just praying to get the help that I need and get the support that I need, and just finding balance. I think that's the thing that's been coming to me the last few days, is like, whoa, I feel so all over the place. Like there's so many things going on in my world, with my living situation. Just there's so many things. So yeah, I'm just praying for balance and praying for my body to come back into balance sometime soon too.
Well, hot messes are welcome here.
Yeah, thanks. But I am going to keep my camera off because I can't be like this right now. But I'm listening mostly.
Okay.
Thank you.
And if you feel like sharing and putting your camera on at any point too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So much love to all you ladies.
Do you want some loving?
Sure, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. I want to put it back on mirroring my video because otherwise I'm confused which shoulder's which. Oh, I forgot I didn't time me. Oh, well. So, oh my goodness, I just did the launch. So Friday, 11 a.m., only people came at 9 to do all the setup and everything, till Sunday at 5, 21 of us here. And it was extraordinary. And it had a really awful moment. It had some awful moments because partly I'm used to working with 5 assistants or 6 or 7 and 2 co-teachers. And the co-teachers would do their part and then participate. We're all participating as well. So I kind of lost the temple tending that we do. And I had 2 women that I had trained who were supposed to burn sage and smudge people and keep things clear. And the energy got so dense. So for Saturday night, when I was planning to do a puja, everybody was burnt out. But, well, they were over full. And then we had a terrible meal. And so we had to let go of the puja, and the one who organizes called everyone together to talk about what my body needs right now, go around, and what our body needs, and we created a temple evening. So I can roll with all of that, but it felt like my pieces kept getting shoved into a smaller and smaller place because the co-teacher didn't time his things out well and took up over an extra hour. And so they didn't get the integration, because I always build integration into my practices. So they got the practices, but they did get the integration. And I really have to have my voice with our managing team of this, and not let this happen again. So it's, a lot of lessons. So I got very dysregulated. I was up half the night, tried to handle it, did some journaling, did a hot tub, had our meeting in the morning, and I blew up all over. It's the most dysregulated I've been in years and years and years. And they still love me, which is great. And it helped us work some things through. And I think it's going to shift a bit of the balance of power in the three of us. So what amazing lessons. The participants love it. They're having a great integration, and most of them are reporting feeling really open, expanded. And this is a 9-month community we've created. Except the couples. Everybody wants to go to Tantra with a partner, and the couples have the hardest time. So, because it brings up all your dynamics, and then you get to watch your partner doing this with that and this with that person. And so it's always a work in progress. I feel really good about the whole launch. Fabulous advanced community, and our team has some things to work out. That's why I wasn't aware of the time change in time, because I have been so involved in just getting this up and running with brand new people. My home is a temple, a whole new caterer. Wowzer. I'd like you loving. Thank you. One other thing I want to say, we operate on complete transparency and honesty in this circle, in the Tantra cohort. So of course everyone knows that there was this little thing that happened, and it has to be okay. Just we work with honesty. So the long-awaited poll is here. I narrowed it down to some possible things we could do in the last 2 meetings. So if you'll choose 2 or 3 of these that are of priority to you.
Where is all this noise coming from? Wait.
I think the muting fixed it.
I think it was my dogs. Sorry.
One more person. All right. Well, thank you. That guides me. We're certainly going to do the top one, and I think I can combine two or three of these. Excellent. And I'll get a report.
Is there a way for you to share what were the most answers? Ah, here we go. Thank you. You read my mind.
Actually, I read the prompts. I forgot that you weren't saying them. Oh, Monica. Okay. So clearing saboteurs, the ways we block ourselves, tools for working through inner conflicts are definitely high on the list, and visioning your soul's path. Maybe time for some tools for time management. We've done a bit of that. All right. Thank you. So I posted some lovely tips in Mighty Networks. I'd love for you to go and read them. And I really go looking for your posts with your intentions, and they're either hidden or didn't arrive. Can we use it a little more? There's some beautiful posts in there from Marina and Mikhail and some others. And welcome, Monica.
Hi. Hi. I don't know if
We hear you.
oh, good.
Do you want to just very quickly check in? Just have your voice in the circle.
Yeah, I think my apologies for being late. The time change just totally surprised me. I've never woken up this late before. So I didn't realize that, could be possible. So next time I'll set an alarm.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I apologize, I didn't notify you all yesterday.
Well, who knew? Super late, right? I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
Yes, we've done check-in, meditation, and we're about to, I'm going to start what I'm sharing.
Okay. Great.
So let's all take a breath. Just jiggle into your body a little. So we talked last time about ways to embody our power. And I asked if you were open, or if you wanted me to guide some things about the tantric practices that really develop Kundalini as a resource in the body. So that's where we're going to go for the beginning of today. The Kundalini, when you learn to activate it and move it up and down the chakra column, it can raise consciousness and help you gain a higher perspective. So I think of Tantra as restoring the sacred to intimate connection and to your connection with yourself. So people often think of Tantra as all about sexual pleasure. It's a wonderful side effect, but it's not the point. It's not what the practices are really designed to do. Although when you can run your life force, what we think of as sexual energy, all the way up and down the chakra system, it makes for some amazing full body orgasms. And it helps to open the chakras. It helps to potentiate them. And all of the organs in the body operate off the chakra system. So that's the energetic feed, you might say, for the organs in the body. So the goal is really embodiment, cultivating presence, learning to ascend in our chakra system. And Tantra is a path to enlightenment. I've known a woman who did cobra breath every day for probably 2 years. And it's like the fast track to higher consciousness. It all happens in the now, but then all power for change is in the now. So I'm going to show you the breathing and we'll practice. And it's very helpful if you can sit on the edge of a chair or a pillow so that your body can undulate. So I'm going to turn up the sound a little because I'm moving back. So the tantric breathing, there are 5 elements to it. Can you hear me okay? Great. 5 elements. The first is the breath. Surprise. And it's a 3-part yogic breath. So you're breathing so deeply that your belly extends. You feel the lower lungs and the upper lungs. So it looks like this. And there's an arch that happens just from filling your lungs. And then you release, emptying from the top. Ah. Ah. We're moving life force. So I like to use my hands because I know I've got these long energy fingers to literally move the Kundalini up. We call it the inner flute. Each chakra is a note on the flute to move it up the flute. And we use sound. So sound on the out breath. So if you'll do that with me. Ah. 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 And the movement is enhanced by a pelvic rock. So it's adding undulation, and it starts right here. And it's almost like the pelvis glides forward and back, forward and back. And if your neck is relaxed, that is going to travel up your spine. So it looks like this. Oh. 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 One of the advantages of using your hand is that if you follow it with your eyes, your neck will relax. Ah. 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 And the 5th element is the pump. The body comes designed with a pump to move this life force, and it's the PC muscles at the base of the spine. The perineum at the base of the spine has base of the body as this kind of figure 8 of muscles. And when you fluctuate those muscles, it pumps the Kundalini up the spine, the life force up the spine. It's a very beautiful energizer. So you can locate your PC muscles if you imagine that you're peeing and you stop. So you bear down a little and relax. Bear down and relax. And the back part of the figure eight, you imagine you're emptying your bowels and you stop. So just bear down a little and relax. So it's just that kind of movement. How can I show you on the screen? It's kind of like pursing your lips. It's not a squeeze. There are times you do that, but it's just a pursing. I like to sometimes just lift and lower my pelvic floor. That moves those muscles. Okay. Can't show you that because if I'm just moving the PCs, it's not going to show from the outside. It's not something like that because you don't want to put any tension in your belly. It's just the PCs and a pelvic rock. That's all the muscles that are working. So now let's put that together, okay? So start with breathing full breath. Rocking forward on the in-breath. Bringing the energy all the way up. Adding sound on the out-breath. Just notice as your neck loose. If you notice, my body is moving right over my pelvis. So it's not this. I'm not doing this. I'm rocking, my pelvis is rocking, and I'm letting it travel up my spine. And then just go to normal breathing. Notice how that feels. And I want to check in if there are any questions, comments.
Feel a little bit slightly spacey in my head, and maybe that's, I notice unless I do that with my hand, it doesn't really seem to go all the way up because I think I have a throat thing going on that I've been working with. And also it's kind of like, it feels really fast, your pace.
Okay.
I often feel like that with you, but this, it feels like I can't keep up with that pace of breathing.
Okay. So
It's slower, so I'm slowing myself down with it.
I'm sorry. Did you have more you were saying?
Nope.
Okay. So I would say to do your own pace, and we can start again more slowly.
Right.
And this is the path of the ecstatic. So when you bring the Kundalini into the mind, it creates ecstatic states, which are lightheaded states. And so it'll sometimes feel a little, what you might think of as spacey or lightheaded. If there's a lot blocking the chakras, then that will be enhanced. It'll be more that way. And you just want to take long out breaths and really ground.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that I do a lot of work down, but I don't do much up.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why, but that's just how it's been for me. And I've done a lot down.
It's nice to do both directions.
Yeah, this is both directions. So that's quite a difference.
Yeah, it's what the Kundalini wants to do. Let me get you an image for a second. I can find my book. Yes. So this is an image. The caduceus, an image of the chakras. And the serpentine energy of the Kundalini loves to wind around the chakra system, and then the serpentine also comes down. So we have an upward spiraling serpent. This shows them both going up, but there's also the downward spiraling serpent. And when you get it all the way up to the third eye, it can really expand intuition. When you get it to the crown, it opens the crown, and you can literally bring your life force all the way up and bathe yourself in your own life force. And that is exquisite, to just have a shower of your own life force.
I think I do that kind of stuff naturally when I'm dancing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I realized, because when you're moving, I do a lot of movement with my arms and my energy up, but I only seem to do that. I didn't realize that. Thanks for showing me that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And something like a chakra that's blocked, like your throat, if you bring the Kundalini there and through it, it will clear throat blocks.
Yeah.
And sound is really important to help clear that.
Okay.
So even just a ha, ha, can help to clear that.
Thank you.
And whenever you're clearing emotions or something like a block, you want your jaws really open. People will often think they're releasing emotions when they go, they just choke it back. But big sounds, big open jaw is what creates the release.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growling's good too. Anyone else want to share? Yes, Valerie.
Good question. Can you say the 5 elements?
Yes. The first is breath, 3-part yogic breath. Sound on the out breath. The breath is usually breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So breathing in and out the nose will quiet energy. Breathing in and out of the mouth will really build energy. Or breathing in the nose and out the mouth. It's kind of partway in between. So breath, sound, imagery, imagining you're calling the life force up like a wave, and it crests and then goes back down. And so the serpentine is coaxed up and then recoils at the base of the spine. And the fourth is undulation, which originates in a pelvic rock, and the body follows. And you're rocking right on top of that pelvis. So you're not using any muscles in the back to create the rock. It's all from the pelvis. And a lot of looseness. And the fifth is PC muscles. And so you squeeze or fluctuate the PC muscles at the end of the in-breath or the end of the out-breath.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't taking notes while practicing it, so I wanted to write it.
Good. Marina.
So does it matter where you squeeze the muscles? Like, is it not like inhale up and exhale down, like release?
Most people find when they're sitting that you breathe up and a little squeeze there. And then you let them go because you don't want to put any tension. Sometimes if you're doing a stronger breath, you kind of bear down as you start the breath. It's a movement in the perineum. And you kind of have to find what works for you. So it might be there, I'm kind of bearing down, but letting go. Or it might be squeeze a little and let go. Some people find they like it at the end of the out breath. And what I always say is squeeze wherever you can get them squeezed.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Or you can get them closed, did you say?
Closed,
Closed.
squeezed. It's a made-up word. Squeeze
what
where
word?
you get squeezed.
Closed.
It's my joke.
Okay, I don't get the joke.
Well, it's not very English.
The American then.
Squeeze wherever you can get the squeeze in.
All right then.
So, Mikhail, I noticed I didn't notice you breathing with us. What was happening for you, please?
I was breathing, but it just, I'm asking myself, because I'm seeing the little flies again. So I'm asking myself what's happening. So I'm just sitting still in it.
Mhm. I suspect if you let yourself learn this breathing, then it will really help support what's shifting in you.
Okay.
Everyone's telling me what squozed is. Thank you. Squeeze, closed, squozen.
Anyone else? Okay. So shall we practice again so you get a little second experience? We'll slow it down. Kaya, are you okay? What's happening?
Can I have one more comment? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So it reminded me of something that I used to do when I was a kid. I used to do this like undulation on the chair, and that was like my self-pleasuring, like when I was 5 years old. This is like really similar.
It's very natural, this movement, until kids get in school and get taught to sit still in your seat. That's unnatural. But if you watch babies, they're all undulation. They're like, oh, they're just free in their body. So it's getting that natural movement back into the body. Okay, shall we practice? Okay. So I encourage you to use your hand and just see what occurs for you. I'll set a pace, but find your own. If you prefer your pace to mine, that's fine. Okay, so here we go. Let me move back where you can see my rocking. Oh. Oh, rocking forward on the in-breath. Oh, sound on the out-breath. Oh. Oh, releasing the neck. Oh. 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 Finding a place to add the PCs. Try it at the top of the breath. Oh. Try it at the bottom. Oh. 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 Or a little bearing down as you start the breath and then relax. Oh. 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 Oh, and you may find the body wants to move more in kind of a spiral. Oh. Oh. And for anyone who wants, you can speed it up a little. Oh. 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 And coming back to stillness. See what you notice. Just let any energy that was generated come into your heart. And what do you notice? It was pretty short, but you may have felt some effect.
I felt like as if my heart was getting contracted as it went on. It was getting tight in my chest and making it a bit harder to breathe. And well, either that or it was tight and it accentuated it. I don't really know, but I think it was getting tighter anyway. So I stopped and I did feel a little bit of in my head, which was okay. It was manageable. But I noticed that in my heart.
Interesting. So what I would suspect is that it'd be valuable to give yourself permission to open in this way. If some part of you starts closing, to just tune in and this is safe. I want this opening. I know for me, early when I was working, I literally took my hands and used them to open my heart a bit more, to just spread the cage that I had built over it and to help remove it. So this breathing through the chakras will bring up what wants to be healed.
I think there's something about supporting myself. Like I feel like if I don't feel strong here, this can't relax. So there's something kind of somatic and imprints and kind of something.
Brene Brown speaks about a strong back.
Yeah.
That we develop a strong back. We develop the ability to really stand up for ourselves and have our strength, our power. And that when we have our strong back, then we can have our soft front. They do very much go together. When we know that we've got that support, that then it's safe to open our heart and be soft. Because at any moment, our strong back can take care of us. And so it's developing both of those.
I'm not sure how much that is what I'm talking about, but that's interesting. It feels like I just can really stick up for myself and stuff. It's just, I don't think my core is very strong because of my digestive situation. And that affects my
like if I rarely would sit up like this without any support, like back support or leaning on something because of that. So I think it's more related to that than having the strength to stand up for myself, because I'm really good at that.
Okay.
So I don't know how to like do this and handle that somehow. Because I want to do this.
I think tantric breathing helps to heal almost anything.
Yeah.
I do. I have so healed my body over the 36 years I've been doing this.
Yeah, maybe I could just do small amounts like regularly or something and just see if I can work through it somehow.
You can also do the breathing lying down.
Yeah, I could try that.
You lie down with your knees up. I can share this practice with you. I can put it on Mighty Networks.
Yeah.
You lie down like this with your knees shoulder width apart, and feet flat on the floor.
Yeah.
And then you breathe, and your body arches off the floor on the in-breath and flattens on the out-breath.
Arches off the floor. So literally lifting it up off the
No,
floor.
no. See the picture? The back arches.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the back arches.
Breathe
Yeah.
fully, your body's going to fill in front and the back will arch. And
Right.
then when you breathe out, the back curls, and you push a little with the legs to support the breathing in and breathing out, just a tiny bit.
Oh, cool.
And
The
you'll
leg.
find you're moving yourself in that same orgasm reflex on the floor.
Yeah. That's really interesting. It's funny because I can go into doing this undulation and everything naturally when I'm dancing a few times, and it just feels completely effortless. And I'm usually standing up, and it just happens, and it's so gentle and effortless. Whereas this feels like more of a, I don't know, a thing. It's different.
Well, it's different, and you get to have beginner's mind. It takes a while to perfect.
Yeah. Thanks for that
Yeah.
diagram. That's helpful.
I'll post it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Is there a significance to yawning? Because I found myself like a lot of yawns coming up. What is that?
It's clearing the tension that's getting released by the breath. There's a lot of yawning in Tantra. Yeah.
Is this a similar practice, but this is Tantra, to the microcosmic orbit, which is Tai Chi?
It's also in Tantra.
Mm-hmm.
So the microcosmic orbit is that you do fuller, longer breaths, and you imagine bringing the breath up the back and over the crown and down the front and around the perineum and up the back.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's a I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it just for a minute. So breathe up the back. It's all imagery. It works. Up and over the crown, down the front. You're breathing up the governing vessel, up the back, and down the. I had a minute ago. Anyway, you're clearing the channel up the back of the spine and down the front. Okay. What I feel is that developing these capacities really supports you when you want to do quantum healing or anything that is calling in your light to have full use of your vessel. I have the full chakra column available for the flow of Kundalini up, life force up, earth energy up, and essence down, light from your being down. And a lot of us have had almost no access to our what's called the tribal chakras, the first three. They get really blocked by abuse or other people taking your will, other people co-opting your will. And so this helps you get the use of this whole resource system of the chakras. And then when you bring energy down, quantum energy down, and bathe the whole body, it transmutes. Very transformational. Okay. So we're about to take our break. Anything else?
What was the difference between the breathing up the back and the breathing up the front?
In the microcosmic orbit, you breathe up the back and down the front.
What is a microcosmic orbit?
It is a practice of breathing all the way up the back, over the crown, and
Oh.
down the front.
It's just a name for a kind of breathing, microcosmic orbit.
Yes,
Okay.
but it's also an orbit that is in the body, that you breathe up the back. If you put your tongue to the roof of the mouth, then you're connecting the governing vessel and I have it in my brain and then it doesn't come out. Kaya, do you know the name? I'm having a hard time. Okay. Anyway, you're connecting the vessel coming up the back and the one down the front. And so you're making a complete loop of your energy that bathes the chakra system. It's a lovely practice to be doing over time.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Are there, Evelina, are there suggested amounts of time? I know I've been in and out of Kundalini practice over the years, and Kriyas often have 3 minutes, 5, 7, 11, that kind of thing. Or just do as much as you can.
Bottom line, do as much as you're willing to do. I think to do a 5-minute breathing practice is fabulous. To do 20 minutes is amazing. There are, I take 6 months to teach all of this. So this is the very beginning piece. And the more that you practice this, then any other breath practices are incorporated into an aware and alive chakra column. So 20 minutes would be ideal. If you get 1 minute in, call it a win. If you do 5 minutes, fantastic. And if you do 20, stellar. That's the way I am with practices. Because if you tell someone 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they may not have time to do it. I do it a lot in the shower or when I'm getting ready for something. And the Bija mantras is another Tantra practice. So that helps open the chakras. This runs energy through them. Yeah. To me, it's like changing the oil in the car. You want to do it often. Okay. So thank you. I'll post that page and maybe a little other about practices. And let's take our break and come back at 10 after the hour.
Oh, I have a quick question. I feel like maybe my contributions to Mighty Network you're not seeing them. Is that close?
Possibly. I think I've seen some.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have, then good.
I'll look during break.
Well, I think I posted it this week. So I think I asked about the microcosmic orbit.
Oh, I did see that, yes.
Oh, okay, great.
And I responded.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So you have to go back and look for the response. If you all will put on, go to your settings, you can get a daily digest to see who's posted.
Okay.
And that's nice. You click on that, you're in the group, you can read the posts, respond, and out in a minute.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, 10 after.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I want my other chair. See?
I have been reading The Body Keeps the Score.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
It's good, huh?
rocking my world. Yeah, I think I have some medical trauma in my body because I had a cleft lip when I was a kid. And so I think just all the surgeries and everything,
Yeah.
that would explain some things around my MS and also other ways that I am not as confident as I could be, which, you know, I can only really imagine myself being even more confident. What would that even be like? Holy crap.
That'd be a power to behold. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can you move your camera down? We can't see above your nose, below your nose. Thank you. Yeah. I think that's a really good insight, Monica, because you kept getting knocked off your feet. You know, every surgery. My
Mhm.
niece went through a whole series of surgeries for the same condition. And yeah, good. Well, this kind of breathing will help move some of that out of your body. And I
I'm
also,
so excited. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to learn the microcosmic orbit. And yeah, so I'm doing doing some dives into Tai Chi classes on the YouTube.
uh-huh.
So I'm excited about that.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
And I recommend the EES system because it does a lot of body repair.
What's EES?
I think we've talked about it. I want to get to the channeling.
Magnetic something?
Yeah,
Okay.
energy enhancement system.
Oh, okay. Is that the, oh, there's some sparkle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We can get to, yes.
I'll post something. Have I posted about EES? Have we spoken of it? Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
the
we have.
scalar wave.
Oh,
technology.
scalar waves.
Last week.
That was the word I
last
was
week
looking
class.
for. Yeah, scalar waves.
Okay. So let's all drop in and get ready to invite in our friends in high places. Allowing your deep grounding, perhaps refreshing your grounding, sending your roots way into the earth. Letting the earth be a home base for your chakra system, your energetic field. Allowing your light to fill your core, arriving in now. I ask the angels and archangels, please create for us a crystalline temple of radiant energy, crystalline temple of light, all around this work today. And whenever anyone witnesses a replay, crystalline temple of light, cleansing and clearing all energies not of the light from around any of us. And we, for each of us, our own chrysalis of radiant light, filled with the rays and vibrations needed by each one here. Our bodies, our lives, invoking the radiant heart of your own soul to assist you in receiving all you need and releasing all it serves to release as you fill with your radiant light and light from source. I welcome into this sacred temple the Council of 12. And I welcome those beings from the heart of the light only, who are guides or loved ones for anyone here. Greetings, dear one, dear beloved women of power, women of substance, women who have come to this earth to enhance it, to make a difference, to fully arrive. Allow yourself to drop in at the deepest level of your being, because that's where this well of creativity is coming from that so many of you feel. Those first check-ins were luscious, weren't they? Of women who are finding their creativities exploding in the world, Who knows, maybe the dollop of love you added to their last share is what helped them make that leap. You see, we're not just a circle of entrepreneurs, a circle of women who are creating the work your soul wants done in the world. We're also a circle of hearts. Can you bring your wholehearted self to this channeling and to these exchanges? It's really good practice because you want to bring your wholehearted self to the implementing of your dreams. So writing the curriculum, bring your whole heart, your wholehearted self, your whole being to whatever you do. Isn't that presence, right? It's being who you are when you're most attuned to your soul and most attuned to guidance. When your spirit, that in you, which is eternal, is alive in you, because it loves to stir the pot and create new soups or stews or who knows what. Maybe it's a dessert. So it's allowing that radiant presence where all of yourself is involved in all of what's happening in the moment. So yes, there are irritations. There are things that bug you, sometimes too literally. And they're irritations. And the Buddhist would say, can you meditate to where the irritations are outside the experience? Can you so claim what's your choice of reality in your body and your being that you live it? You see, the peace of thought creates reality. If you go with the irritation, you get irritation. If you go with the, you're irrelevant to me. What's relevant? What allows me to be so in my core, so centered, so in my embodiment, and my subtle body, so completely. What I do not wish in my experience is outside it. Yes? Anyone in for that? Yeah. Yeah. You've had a wonderful example of this in Marina's beautiful share and Victoria's experience of gathering, gleaning wisdom from this group, gathering up your love and supporting that strong back. It's way more than standing up for yourself. The strong back is, I got this. I got this. I got this. Me and Spirit's got this. Well, I may need Divine Mother to stand with me, and I got this, but we got this. That's a strong back. It's a knowingness that you have agency. And that by the thoughts you think, by the stories you follow or dismiss, by that walking a path where what you want is the goal and the source of your attention. You see? You have a lot of energy, each of you. Pour it into what you're desiring, what you're bringing. Pour it into the book. Pour it into Micaiah, the book, and the universe opening to create a book for you. You don't know how. You don't need to. That's God's job. And when you turn the how over to the divine, including the higher dimensions in yourself, The universe figures it out because it's got a lot more experience than you do. You see. And that's part of listening to guides or those very special ancestors as well, is that they have a lot more experience. They may have had incarnations, but they've continued to evolve to ascended masters. That's kind of the realm to hang out with, right? And goddesses. With goddesses, because people have put up temples and worshiped them and then mined them and done all kinds of things with them. You want to always ask for the most radiant, most goddess centered aspect of that goddess, the origin of that archetype. It's possible, and we had an experience with Evelina early on. It takes a long time to learn to channel clearly. We had an experience a long time ago where she would channel to someone that she still sees 38 years later, now in channel business mode mostly. In the session, this woman really liked her to channel Aphrodite. So she channeled the goddess Aphrodite really well. And one day she was really exhausted, probably should have postponed, went ahead and tried anyway, trusted spirit could figure it out. And she channeled Aphrodite, but it was a much diminished form. Because the way it works with truth is truth gets brought to the planet, sometimes in wonderful ways. And some people join the center of it. They're the ones who work with mentors and coaches. They join the center of that truth and they take it to the world. And then they teach people and they take it out and they teach people. And the trueness of the truth, or the what are the words? The integrity of the truth gets less and less. It gets watered down. And out here, people know they're supposed to get some effect from this stuff about God or goddess or whatever. So they invent rituals to try to do that. And then that can become codified into religions. So what begins as true connecting with the heart of source and the heart of truth can become practices that people get paid, pastors' salaries, or you put up you give the home to the priest and all of their needs. So they get paid to try to do your work for you, to connect, when the truth was you're already it. You are the divine. It's right there. Just let your inner work uncover it. So childhoods and traumas and cultures and families, they put all these stuff on top of that beautiful, brilliant jewel. So it's sloughing it off. That which has happened to you becomes not me. Not me anymore. I am the me that has brought myself back to me. That was a fun little message to bring through. So, lovely women, you already are everything you need to be. Shall we go to some inquiries?
When I just start, after our call yesterday, and again, I had those things appearing, and I did not have a good night. I woke up in sweats, and my eyes were burning. itchy and my head down, that little
So
aspect of me.
we missed from "and my eyes" to "your head itchy," something you cut out. If you
Oh.
rub your hand between you and the camera, it will do that sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So my eyes was itchy and my head was really hurting. And it took me hours to try to calm down that little aspect of myself, like really hours till maybe 7:38. I woke up around 3. And after I checked in, I started seeing those things again. So I'm asking myself, are those hallucination, or is it me tapping, or that past memory leaking into now? And what can I do to make it stop?
Okay. So in the answer, we may be revealing some of what happened with your session. Are you open to that? Because that we usually would keep that confidential.
Yeah. Yes, I'm fine with it.
Okay, good. We're just reading the Akashic records of your experience. It does seem to us that the sensations and the experiences your body having are body memories. We feel that you connected with the part of you that you wanted to bring a good mothering to. And sometimes trying to calm them down isn't the first thing. It's more like you meet them where they are. Like maybe just saying, we see it as a young part of you. Okay. About 8 and one about 6. And they're in the experience so much. So let's ask if they'd be willing to let angels come right now and lift all of the drug energy out of their bodies.
Okay.
Would they be willing to do that?
Yes, please.
So for each of them, we're seeing 3 angels coming in, and they're going to do an angel wash of the body. And one of them is doing an angel wash of the 6-year-old and one of the 8-year-old, and the third is behind you doing an angel wash of all of you. And just surrender, offer into that anything that was ever injected into your body for ill purposes. And ask that they cleanse and clear the cells so that whatever's creating the itching, whatever's creating all these sensations that happened too many times in the past is dissolved from your body and from your body's memory field. It's all over, kids. It's all over. You're safe now. Come here now. So if all of us with your loving hearts can hold that these parts inside Mikhail are being released from horrible sensations that were not their fault, used as punishment, used as despicable acts of control, which is what cults do, just because they can. Releasing, dissolving, breathing, letting go. And Mikhail Kali wants to create a rising fire right from the Kundalini, from the base of the spine, spiraling up the spine. So there's the washing out and the filling up with your breath. Like, I'm claiming this body and this vessel for current time. And in current time, we use seed syllables and the chakras. We use Kundalini. We arrive in now. So it's like these young ones, you're witnessing them where they are. And you're inviting them where you are in current time. Does it feel like they might be ready for that?
Yes, please.
Is that okay with everyone if we take more time with this? Yes? Okay, good. So feeling your chakra column coming into your heart when you are. Yes. When you're ready, asking Divine Mother to go with your adult, wherever you find this 8-year-old, and go and be with her energetically, with your heart, with your presence. And let her know that I love you. I'm here for you. And I understand you've been through horrible things. And I didn't know because my being able to not know helped me grow up so I could come back for you. And I'd love to take care of you now. And if you'd like, you could come live with me in my heart where you'll be safe and I can take care of you every day. Would you like that? And what is her response? Would she like that? So asking Divine Mother to bring her and you all the way through space and time. And some angels are coming along for the ride because they're cleansing her as she comes into current time. Bringing her and you all the way through space and time, only her energies, only that which is indigenous to her, nothing else put in. Bring all of her energies through space and time, right into your heart chakra. Asking the angels to create the perfect room for your 8-year-old in your heart. A big rocking chair for Divine Mother. Invite her to come be in Divine Mother's lap along with you. And breathe in her love. All of you could be in Divine Mother's lap right now if you wish. Breathe in her love, breathe out all else. When you breathe in her love, you let it soak into wherever in your body you haven't had that before. Because there's a lot of hungry cells in many of you for that kind of unconditional love. And then you breathe out everything else. She metabolizes it for you. Yeah, doing good. How's that feeling? Good and hard to feel how much pain there was. Yeah. 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 So let's all offer our love. This is big, big energy releasing. And allow yourself to feel it. It's a lot. And let the love help lighten it. Going in, absorb my suffering. It's allowing and surrendering. So it comes to us, dear one, that you were wounded in community, in what might have been thought of as a kind of church in some people's reality, and that perhaps this healing also needs to happen in community. So what we'd like to ask is if everyone would come fairly close to your camera and look right into the camera with the love you're feeling for Michael. So as she looks at you, she sees your eyes directly and sees your love. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. That is amazing. So this is the world you bring these young ones to. It's allowing the grieving, the denial breaks. Sometimes it's like a dam breaking. And the only way most of us survived, at least our most difficult childhoods, like Mikhail's and mine, differently, mine way less, but 5 perpetrators is difficult. The only way that the personality survives is to use denial. Dissociation and denial, they need to go together. You can't subject the whole of your consciousness to that kind of wounding and survive. So the wisdom of the child, or the imaginal cells within the child that will cope no matter what, figure out to separate, create these parts that handle different things. And they need to have amnesia for each other. The fear can't know the anger's there, you see? And as Evelina says about herself, you've got to show up with a smile at the breakfast table. That one can't know some of this other. So the compartmentalizing is important, and the denial until you've evolved enough that you can handle the real truths of what happened. Some of these lives are horrific. So what we feel you've all witnessed is a whole nother level of the soul retrieval that most people don't do, and shamans don't do. They'll go into the underworld and they'll pluck a part out and they'll blow it into the crown and into the heart. And that's great if it comes from the light. But the last time that my lion blew 2 parts into me from the underworld, I spent 3 hours that night on an underworld journey. So what we did was bring this part in and separate what was not Mikhail from as it came in. So there was still realization, but not activation so much of the trauma of the past, because that's what we want to leave behind. Part of the reason that you were still in activation, Mikhail, is that they weren't ready to come yesterday. This one was ready today, and it may be enough for today. Yeah, we think so. So let's send some loving angels and Divine Mother to the 6-year-old and let her know her time will come when she's ready and you're ready. Yeah. Yeah. Which is another skill as healers, to really know that place when enough is enough, because we said 6-year-old and 8-year-old, maybe we should, and da-da-da-da. But you tune in and it's like, oh, that's a lot to integrate. And integration's a very important part of healing that also gets left out. People will do a session, and in trying to be sure they get everything done, and whatever their story is about how much they have to give, they do it right up to the end. and there's no integration. So you always want some, what Evelina's favorite therapist called up and outs, to help people get closer to a consciousness where they can be present, which in a sense is what we're doing right now with Mikhail, you see. It's fine with us, with all of you we know, if Mikhail stays in whatever emotions are here. And we also want to show you this way, since it's right present, of wrapping something to where a person is left with their adult agency. Yeah. Thank you. We're curious if there's anything that any of you wish to say to Mikhail, just not needed at all, but does something arise? If you're open to that. Seems like the eyes have said it. Beautiful. All right, another inquiry. Let's clear the space.
I have one.
Karen.
Definitely not as deep. I don't know, but it might be. I'm on a question about this lover that I have that is really just a person I don't see that often, maybe every couple of months, and is a sexual partner, if you like. But I have this really strong connection with him in myself, which really doesn't reflect in our relationship in reality. And so I've ended it a few times. I've tried to clear him out of my space. I've cut cords. I've done so much work on myself, as everything I get into about him, I just bring it back to myself and go, okay, so what is this about me? So I mean, it's been a lot and it's kind of fascinating and so on, but I got to a point with it where I'm just really curious about what is this enduring connection with this person that I virtually have nothing in common with, who I don't see very often, and that I can't seem to end it. It's not ready to end for some reason. So I'm at a very curious point with it and just kind of keep going, because I don't know what else to do. Just accept it and keep going till
Yes.
it is done, I suppose.
Well, it's interesting because a connection every couple months that fulfills some part of you and gives you a lover point in your life a few times a year, it seems really valuable.
That part of it is, yeah, I like the sex.
Right.
So it's this other part, like I have this huge relationship with him on my own.
Yeah,
Every
well,
day.
if you're enjoying that 90% of this love affair is on your own, enjoy it.
I'm trying to stop it.
Why?
It doesn't make me very happy.
Oh, then.
But I also recognize that I have been really getting a lot of work on myself out of it as well. So it's kind of like a bit of a double-sided thing.
It sounds rather tantric to us.
That's it.
It does, in the sense that what it sparks in you is containing everything, and it's evolving you. It seems there are ways that it's kept you in touch with your sensuality and sexuality,
Yeah.
and your romantic side, even while you're busy here building your business and your life again in England.
Yeah, it has. It does.
Yeah. So what's to fix?
I don't know. I guess the part I struggle with is that I'm unhappy a lot of the time.
Well, it may be that you want to bring in a partner in the flesh, and may do that soon as well, but you might have to say, I have this paramour that I don't see very often.
Again, I also have a husband.
What's that?
I also have a husband.
You also have a husband. Yeah. So maybe you come with a husband and a paramour. It's really common in all the royal houses in Europe.
Yeah.
And it was very common in times when people were in arranged marriages that their real love affair was with someone else. If you can create a way to be happy with this arrangement, it feels like it keeps you in your sensuality at a more exalted level than it happens to be with just your husband.
I don't have that with him at all. I have no sexuality with him. My husband.
Yeah.
So I get that somewhere else.
Yeah.
It keeps me in my sensuality in an exalted level.
It can.
It does.
It does. Yes, that's what we're sensing.
Yeah.
It's a way that you're claiming your sensuality that perhaps makes living with your husband easier.
I don't live with him. I don't live with him.
Oh, you don't?
No, I live 5,500 miles away from him, actually.
Okay, well, we're not up to date with this. Yes. So what wants to happen here is, what do I really want?
Yeah.
And how do I transition my life to where I want what I get with this person plus what I get with myself and constancy. I want it all the time, or I want it half time.
Yeah.
And I want someone who wants the same kind of connection I do.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah. Connection is very sparse.
So we feel that the bigger answer about all of this is dream bigger.
Yeah.
You've created something that works and it is helping you take your sensuality to a higher level.
Yeah.
Now dream a bigger dream.
Okay.
Something always goes when you dream a bigger dream.
I'm going to dream a bigger dream.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's all add our vote. Dream a bigger dream.
Yes.
Big. This, by the way, this is the victory pose. So when you dream a big dream and you do this with your arms up and you stand and you really strong back, you hold it. I got this. Yes. For
Yes,
10
bring
minutes,
it.
it will shift your consciousness. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Who else? Kaya.
All right, I'll take a deep breath here. I've been in agonizing sacral pain since October. Initially, everything in the sacrum going down to the hips and running down the legs. Now it's the sacral level has subsided, but there's so much in the hips and particularly on the left side, the sacroiliac joint and the joint where you walk. And I asked my guides, is it arthritis? Is it subluxation? Is it blah, blah, blah? And they're saying, and I can appreciate any input, of course, that I am releasing and outgassing death. So
releasing and outgassing death.
Death, like dark matter related to death. Death of a relationship, automobile accident that shattered my life, that in a parallel reality, I could have died if the angels hadn't pushed the car in a different direction. Also leaving California, leaving that whole way of life, my family, my children, my grandchildren, that's a death of a whole lifestyle. And then, of course, as with many of us, being in a pandemic on a daily basis with the threat of death all around us, and really cherished aspects of myself that I am not in touch with anymore, like a whole tantric way of life, carbon hot springs, so many of the things that I used to do. And so they're saying I'm releasing all of that in terms of making room for a new self that isn't medical, it's more metamorphic, but God, it's painful. You know, I have an ability to abide by these types of things, but the pain is excruciating. Any insights, please?
Yes.
And I almost fainted when we did the undulation. I know how important undulation is. I almost fainted.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, because your reserves are being used up with the pain.
Yeah.
So would you be willing to stand and show us where the pain is?
Okay. Let's see. It was
See from here.
at first it was everything. Now it's like here, I guess starting where the sacroiliac joint is, particularly more on the left, and then down where you walk in here, and then it runs down the back of the legs. And it's also what I would call the whole second chakra and first chakra. The first chakra, the tailbone is like, it's just really lit up.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
explain it?
Thank you. Very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Ugh.
Excellent. So when you did this,
Yeah.
it felt as if a lot of that wants to happen. It's
Mhm.
happening in your body.
Yeah.
And there's several ways to release it.
Mhm.
Often revenge fantasies are some of the best. And with that, you ask the angels to make a solid sphere of light around you, big one around your house, and to absorb everything. So no one's affected, it goes nowhere outside of this. And then you can either visualize or physically have your temper tantrums. A lot of raging wants to come out of your pelvis. Now, a wonderful goddess to work with is Kali. And you can say to Kali, would you suck this crap out of my pelvis?
Mhm.
She will. You see her with these long tongues. She loves it. It's helpful if you have this kind of almost a playful attitude of, this isn't mine, this is past. I don't need this. And release it. But we're not encouraging that you always bring anger in the body to an over angry situation.
Mhm.
So it feels to us that that area would benefit from sky blue.
Okay.
So to really just wash your pelvis, the muscles, the nerves with sky blue, cooling blue. It wants to be calmed and it wants the anger cleared
Uh-huh.
at the same time. So sometimes a revenge fantasy, you're the witness of it,
Uh-huh.
you see, so that you're not increasing it, but you're giving what's already in there expression, whatever it wants, and anything goes. Evelina finally, one of her last ones was that she brought in all the perpetrators on the planet and bombed them and had this big bomb. So it can be anything. It completes what's incomplete.
Mhm.
So from this lifetime and another, we sense there's incompletions in there. The conversations you didn't get to have. You can go back to any memory, make it come out different.
Mhm.
Change your history. That also erases it. I think your whole nervous system would benefit from sometimes a sky blue, sometimes cobalt blue.
Mhm.
The EES technology,
Not here.
well, it's not there
Yeah,
yet.
it's not here.
It will be.
I
It
live
will
in the
be.
boonies. now. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not here yet. I'll say
Yeah.
that. Not here yet.
Yeah. Might be within a short flight or something.
Mhm.
There's something else. There's another past life. Whew. Whoa. You took a sword wound. Right about here.
Mhm.
We see an old wound. It's not as quite as straight as how the body's displaying it, but
Mm.
quite a wound that we think that you died from on the battlefield from the bleeding.
Mhm.
It cut into some organs. So, Great Mother Goddess, if that one who died is in any way bleeding through or using or tapping energy of Kaya's body, may we release that and help that one go on into the light. Feels like it wants to be just lifted out of your tailbone. Pulled out of your tailbone. Okay. We call for whatever loved ones of this one in the light could help. Oh, it's the sergeant that sent this one to battle in the first place. This way. All right. Thank you. And a really good wash for the nervous system is white light, kind of a viscous white light. It moves about the pace of honey over one vertebra at a time. And take many breaths to get all the way down. Can you feel that light coming down?
Mhm.
Yeah, good. How's that? How's that land for you?
Mhm.
Does it feel that the energy released when we pulled that other one out? Other aspect of your soul?
Kind of in two realities right now, and it's like, oh shoot, I lost it. It was just one of those sort of guide insights while you were talking. Oh, basically, I'm in shock, just an absolute state of shock that's manifesting. And you know how mycelium are, or like fractals are, just in a state of shock for everything that's like happened in 10 whole years, and just attempting to cast it out. You see?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we call upon the councils of light
Thank you.
and ask for the very, very best experts at clearing shock
Mhm.
from the body. Shock from many, many losses, many, many deaths, many, many things changing. 10 years of whoa, shock, clearing it from Kaya's body.
You know, and as you say that, Evelyn, I say thank you. I received that. It also occurred to me that I was hit from behind, rear-ended. I've had 6 rear-ended automobile accidents. That's hit from the back. You know.
The first thing we wrote down when you started describing your pain was orthobiotomy.
Oh, okay.
If you can find someone that does that, it seems that there's certain, and some cranial sacral people that really understand the energetics of the body,
Yeah.
they can unwind these trauma tangles.
Mhm.
We've seen it even recently with Evelina from tangles that are years and years old.
Mhm.
So it feels like some good unwinding kind of body work would be good.
Thank you.
It feels more energetic because you're so in tune with subtle energies that something that works with the energetics of the body or the cranial fluids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your future self has gone beyond this and doesn't have that pain at all. You can heal it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know this is cracking to make room for her too.
Yes. It's the cracks where the lights come in, right?
Okay, oh, great wisdom. It just fucking hurts.
That's right. That's right. Have you used CBD to lessen the pain?
No, I had a flashback. I had the first time I had this type of back pain was after going my separate ways. And you remember, Ken, and so we went our separate ways. And a month after that relationship ended, I started having low back pain, and it was excruciating for 2 years. Absolutely excruciating. And at the time I tried CBD and whatnot and everything, you know. So this is at that level or even greater, you know, but I will look into CBD because, you know.
Yes, at a dispensary, or there's an acupuncturist who could find the right one for you.
Yeah.
That works telemedicine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We can send that to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll
Because
just
there's
put this-
CBD that's good and there's CBD that's no good. And it's just like, it's a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, well, he can find the exact one. He's got
Okay.
great ones for sleep too.
Thank you.
We'll post that later.
Thank you.
Okay. It's so easy to go on and on.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who else?
I have a question. So right now, I am feeling that I want, like, I remember the question. I don't know which session it was. Is like, are you willing to put your life on this cause? And right now, I feel like I am, and to live at this island, and it just feels so big and so beyond anything I have ever believed possible, that it it sort of freezes me and throws me into, like, well, should I just do nothing, stay open, or where should I start looking, or just staying focused? So that's my dilemma right now, is like, what do I do? Because I have no clue where to start.
That's when you
Because,
sit,
yeah.
that's when you sit at your altar and you say, okay, I've shown up. Next steps, please. I need my marching orders. So,
Yeah.
you know, the saying, trust in Allah and tie up your camel. So
Mhm.
in a sense, you do nothing from a place of I got to do something, but you start visioning, okay, what would be the steps? So what do we need most? Money. Where do we get money? Where do we find people who know how to get money?
Mm.
Where do we find someone that might consult with me in learning how to fundraise?
Mm.
And can I have a fundraising coach or a investor finding coach? When you have a dream that's a bit bigger than you work it through and you get yourself there. When you have a dream that's a lot bigger than you get a lot of support people. So
Yeah.
you trade Reiki training for fundraising support or fundraising training. There are things to learn about it. And when Evelina first started, there are workshops on it. Online, you'll find them. When she first started, she learned that when you go to gather money, you get 90% of your money from 10% of your sources. And of those 10%, you get 90% of it from 1, 2, or 3. And she went, I'll go for the 1, 2, 3. And that's how she supported her work for a while, was going for the 1 or 2 investors that so believe in what you're doing that that's where they want to put their money. And then learning how to approach. And it's called farming investors.
Mm.
You get close and you build a relationship. And then you know what kinds of things are important to them, to know how to ask.
Mm. Cool. Wow. Yeah, and I also had this shamanic journey, which was very interesting the night before. And as I got to the upper realm, Saint Elizabeth was there, who's one of my guides, and she always greets me. And so she's like, "Yeah, here we go." And so Archangel Michael actually was there, like, and he said, "Here's my sword." I'm like, "I don't want your sword. I don't want it." And she's like, "You need to take the sword." And then the next person that was there was Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus, but he is from the city to which this island, the municipality, belongs to, the city of Demre, which is the ancient city of Mira, where Saint Nicholas was the bishop. And so he was just there with like a sack of money, like that. So it was so cool.
Beautiful. And could it be that St. Nicholas is offering himself as a spirit guide for this process?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I think.
showing up for you. When you show up like you're showing up in your power and you allow support, the universe shows up in like measure.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's both the surrender, trusting that sack of money, everything I need is coming, and showing up.
Doing what I can.
Doing the wisest things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You could walk down the street and say, could I have a couple bucks? I got a big dream to build. So there's a range, or you can find your 2 investors, 1, 2, 3 investors. So it's not what you can do, but what will get me closer to this goal.
Mm.
You see?
Yeah.
So when you set a goal, you plan both backwards from the goal and forward to the goal. So the
Mm-hmm.
goal of a purchase doesn't have a time, but it has a point that wants to happen. So then you can plan backwards. What are the things that need to happen for that? And plan forward. How do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of fill in the gap between the goal and now. And over time, put it on a big sheet. Over time, you'll fill it in more.
Mm-hmm. Thank
And then the
you.
path may take you around this way before it goes there. It
Yeah.
gives spirit a chance to download more of this big vision. It's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Much bigger. Thank you.
welcome. Hey. Anyone else? We have about 15 minutes. 10.
Am I unmuted?
You are.
Okay. So I'm not sure where. I just want to say I have an ancestor that I'm very close to, and she is Gertrude. Her name is Gertrude, and she came from, basically, she came on the boat, when she was 3,
Hmm.
and from Germany. And she was very tight with her money and very careful about what she spent money on, and she like wouldn't even get her own teeth fixed, and I have similar ways around money. And I also, now she has passed on, and I have all of her art, all of her stuff. And I'm also noticing a very expanded like like it's I want to manifest more abundance. And I'm also, I have this fight with someone that I lent an entire commission to this ex-boyfriend. At the time he was my boyfriend, but since, he is a broker, but he never paid me back. And, I've been trying to get him to make payments, and I'm really fighting with like, okay, do I let it go? How do I get how do I get the payments without losing so much of my energy to asking for the payments? Like I tried to set him up on a automated payments system, and I was like, what's the payment that you could make, and blah blah. But he says things that end up not being true.
Mhm.
So it's either not in his integrity, or, but anyway, it feels to me like again and again and again, it's like not true.
Got it. So would you be willing to say his name so we can see what his higher self tells us?
Mark Kalidis.
The two of your souls have a bit of an ancient feud.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. There's so much energy between us. Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
bananas.
It's been growing up in a family and becoming feuding landowners and different lives of feuds. And we don't think you'll get it from him. So take your energy, tell the universe, I want this amount of money. In addition to what I make, I want this dropping into my lap. I want some miracles here. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you bring me this amount of money. I will release this. I will let it go for my own good, not for his. And then do some of those revenge fantasies so you get some completions. Or do some change histories so you have a conversation with him and it comes out differently.
Hmm.
And if any of that shifts it to where he pays you, that's the bonus. But the win is it no longer runs you.
Right. Yeah. There's this really sick way that, the sexuality and the, you know what I mean? Like we have this really amazing sexual connection, but like the contact and asking him for money, and it's really bananas.
It feels very Scorpio.
Mm,
And this is Scorpio moon, maybe why you're asking now.
mm,
And in the higher aspects of Scorpio, the sexuality is fabulous and money really works. And in the lower aspects, they get twisted. They get kind of to where money can be degraded and things withheld and secretiveness and suspicion. And so at this point, he's going to play at that level, and we suggest that you leave the playing field. It takes a bit of work, takes a bit of, it's not forgiving him, it's forgiving yourself for ever having gotten into this with him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
forgiving him the commission and for all those things, so that you free yourself. You're entangled unnecessarily with someone that you're not going to get your needs met from.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not going to get that $10,000 back.
Right. So go make another commission and sell 2 homes next to each other and make 2.
It's hard now because I have lost a lot of my vision.
Hmm. Hmm. It's not fair.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so angry with him. Like, why couldn't he pay me back
Mhm.
when I could see?
Mhm.
And I have to pay, to keep my broker license,
Mhm.
So it's a mess. But it's
Well,
true that I just would be freer if I didn't have to think about him.
so how
And
about we all join in a prayer here?
Mm.
Great Mother Goddess, heart of love itself, you've got some miracles to work here. We're not certain that this man, say his name again.
Mark Colitis.
We're not certain that Mark Colitis will be willing to return the $10,000. And if you, all the realms of light, all the angels who love and light up this world, if you can work the miracles that somehow, maybe you bring him a big windfall and he goes, oh, 10,000, easy, and brings it to Monica, and probably with a lot of grandiosity. That's okay, just as long as he brings it. So we invite
Amen. And they women and everybody.
we invite a high order magnitude of miracles that gets this $10,000 to Monica now. Now, it's really important. So can you provide some special dispensation here that says, oh, universe, focus on these miracles, however many it takes, to get that $10,000 to Monica now in March 2023. All this we offer, asking for the highest good of you, all concerned in the universe. So be it. So it is. Blessed be. Whenever you ask for something that touches another's will, you always use it for the highest good of all concerned.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we've had a very active chat session, which is lovely. If you go down to the very bottom where all the little icons are and see the 3 dots, it will say save chat. So you can save it if you wish. So feels like it would be lovely to hear each of your voices to complete. So maybe a minute or so of where you are, what you've learned, what intentions you wish to set. What would your heart like to say? Mikhail?
After the integration, the headache just went away. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you. So I'm really ready to that new chapter and being the empowered woman that I am, and really step into what I came here to do in order to help the other light bearers to rise the vibration of this planet. So it's more and more it's becoming clearer that I cannot hide. So here I am, universe. Let's make it happen.
Beautiful. And we witness your declaration. Yes, add our power to the. Must always be a little scary when the chrysalis opens and the whatever it is now doesn't know whether it flies or not. What are those? Great. Who else? Valerie?
I'll go. Someone's getting ready to walk into my house, so I'll try to come before they're coming in. I want to work with the breath and the Bija mantras in my meditation practice. I'm feeling called to integrate that in. Probably, I'm going to aim for something small time-wise, so it can be doable. So I think probably 5 minutes is what I'll set for the goal for that. And one thing that I want to work on, and it might be something with the council next week, but also I'm just going to work on it myself, is cutting cords for parts of the relationship with my husband. We have a future relationship together as a family and in some different ways, but we're just getting stuck in these old ones. And I feel like it'd be helpful to kind of formally and very intentionally for myself work with that.
Very wise, very wise. Mhm. And if you need support, we're really good at that.
Yeah.
The way, if you think instead of cutting, pulling them out with the roots intact, giving them to the angels to transmute, then you don't even have the end of it in you. It clears the chakras deeper.
I like that. Also interesting since I just had a tooth yanked out that way.
Yes, with the roots and not so intact.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. I like that.
Welcome. Next, Kaya.
Shock. A Bach flower remedy, Star of Bethlehem, is for shock and buried trauma. So I will make my way over to Star of Bethlehem.
Great.
That'd be very advantageous. Otherwise, it's just rippling, 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 rippling. And it's a ripple more than I can transform just on my own, even knowing what I know and having all my helpers. So I'll turn to Star of Bethlehem. The other thing, you said imaginal cells, and of course I understand and have known, as many have, that the caterpillar dissolves and turns into green goo and doesn't exist anymore, and that the imaginal cells is where the butterfly comes from. So I do want to focus on the imaginal cells. That makes a lot of sense to me, because I feel that some of this agony is indeed the classic ego death. It's not my ego, but there's an old self that is complete and a new one is attempting to come through. So address the shock and trauma with Star of Bethlehem, and then focus on imaginal cells to bring through the new self.
Beautiful. And the caterpillar, actually everything essential in the caterpillar becomes that tight little body of the butterfly. Next. Anyone else? Marina was
Great.
Marina, and then Monica.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say how, especially in the second half when we were asking the council, I could relate to each and every thing that came up. I was like, it was so relevant to me. Like if it's the childhood trauma, the sensuality, the pain in the back. I actually have pain in the back. And so it's just like, wow, through you sharing, I received so much. So thank you all. Thank you for that. Just wanted to point that out, that I feel like there is so many connections that we don't even realize. And sometimes I only see it on the replay. When I watch the replay, I'm like, oh, that too, and that too. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Monica, we're going to go over a couple minutes if we complete here.
Okay. I have this CBD that was a miracle to me in my back pain. It's a formulation that doesn't taste yucky, and it's just a pill that you take every day. And I'm going to put it in the Mighty Networks, and it has literally changed my life and made it so that I am not crippled by back pain.
Yeah.
So I will share that.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
So Karen, did you want to share or?
I'd just say it's really good to be here with you all.
Yeah, it is. Thank you all. Thank you and bless you. Thank you, Council of 12, radiant beings of light. We love you, honor you, appreciate you, release you, and ask for continued high guidance that our fondest dreams evolve with miracles of grace and ease. And may the realms of light bathe this earth with scalar waves of light. Let's all just be bathed with scalar waves of light. Use your hands if you wish to release everyone else's energy. We're doing the fast form today. Letting go, coming home, wrapping your energy in, around, and through your body. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Namaste,
Namaste.
everyone. Yeah, big time. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See you next week.
Totally.